Good morning. Yes, it's morning. Welcome to Rosemary's Kitchen. Here we are again. We're going to make a really fast but most delicious dessert. It's bread and butter pudding, a traditional English favourite. We've got, these are sultanas, but raisins, sultanas, whatever, dried fruit. We've got eggs and cream. I don't know, there's no point in it. Got a little bit of corn flour, an ounce of corn flour right there. So we've got 2 ounces of whiskey. We're ignoring the milk for a second. We've got half and half, and I can't remember how much we're using. 8 ounces in this and 2 eggs. I've actually halved the recipe that is in the book, just so you are aware. I've got 4 ounces of raisins. And I've got 2 ounces of sugar, so that's half the main recipe. And I normally do this in a much bigger dish. This dish is a little bit big for this amount, but that's okay. We're going to use it anyway. So what we do is we take 1/3 roughly of bread. Oh, and we've got bread and butter. Sorry, I've used a butter spread, but it is butter, and I've used just regular thick white bread. You can use any kind of bread you like. Now, I just took the bread we had in the freezer because this is a spur of the moment dish. And but if you get a square bread and you cut it into triangles, crossways, that looks really pretty in this dish. I think I might have done that for the photo that we have in the book. So I'm going to literally over the bread and butter, imagine bread and butter being great, I'm going to sprinkle these about 1/3, and I'm guessing, I'm just sort of eyeballing it here. There we go. And also I want about 1/3 of the sugar, which I'm going to sprinkle over the top. There, like this. I'm going to lay more bread and butter. I'm going to do it that way this time, why not? Slightly overlapping is the best way to do it, and making it look really pretty. I mean, there's no, you don't have to be a genius to do this, do you? It's bread and butter, really. And again, I'm sprinkling. Maybe make sure your butter is side up, facing you as you're doing this. Much better to have it, looking pretty. And there we go. And sugar. Oh, and almost forgot the sugar. And 1/3 of the sugar going in. Do you know, as a kid, we used to like bread and butter with sugar sprinkled on the top. I mean, that was like, don't let your parents catch you, because they'd clipped you across the head. But anyway, there we are. And 3rd time round. So we're doing actually 3 layers of this. There we go. Press it down slightly. Don't have to worry about it, because I'm going to show you what we do next. So this is the top. And so we're going to put the rest of the raisins on the top. Again, we're going to make it look pretty. Try and make them even, not in big fat clusters as I've just done there. We're going to make it look pretty. There we go, and bingo. And if some drip down the sides, that's all to the good. Again, you don't have to, be precise. You're going to be amazed at how good this delicious pudding is. And again, and if you prefer brown sugar or cane, brown cane, natural sugar, anything like that, that's also fine. And I'm going to just sprinkle this on the top. Bing, bing, bing. There we go. Alrighty. Now, in this bowl we've got eggs and half and half. You actually don't have to use half and half if you don't want to, but I like my bread and butter pudding creamy. I'm going to use this amazing whisk just to whisk the eggs and the cream together. Now, I'm also going to now add a little bit more milk to this. oops, and I've spilled half of it. Not that it matters. I'm going to tip that in. That is the corn flour. You can, if you want, you can use custard powder, and you can put little vanilla essence in or whatever. If you use ready-made custard powder, you actually end up, it's a sort of vanilla flavour, so you have that nice vanilla taste. But I haven't used that in here. And whiskey, which is optional. You can use whiskey or rum or whatever you feel like. Rum is always good with the food, but I went into the cupboard and the first thing I found was the whiskey, so that's what we're using. And in it goes. And we're going to stir it beautifully. There is the mixture. So in here is half and half. We've got, I'm going to put a little bit more of that milk in here. Now the idea is we pour it gently. If we pour it over the top, all that stuff is going to be, you're going to sort of literally wipe it off. So we're going to pour it gently in, and what we want, I'm going to put some in the middle. What we want here is, and I think I'm going to use the rest of this milk. This is the reason why we're doing this recipe, is because I thought too much liquid in there, but apparently the original recipe, I was right. So there we are. And I want this to come, this milk mixture, milk and egg mixture, to come as far up the sides as we can get it. Now I'm going to just gently, carefully ease the bread in. And what's going to happen now, we're going to, oh gosh, I can smell it's good. What do you think, Carolyn? Do you think it's good? Looks good.
Looks wonderful.
It looks great here. All right, and now we're going to leave it. I'm going to leave it to soak for at least 2 to 3 hours. I actually even might leave it overnight. It depends how I'm feeling. We want the bread to absorb all of that milk and egg mixture. And then we're going to bake it in a hot oven for about 35 minutes. But we'll wait for the baking. We're just going to leave it to soak for a few hours and we'll be back.